What is up, guys? Welcome, Crypto FUD, and let's jump right into this, guys. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday. It is hump day. Week's almost is halfway finished. Are we gonna end in the green? Are we gonna end in the red? How are we gonna do this, guys? How are we doing this? Welcome, guys. We got the whole squad in here. Jay's in the house. What's going on, bro? Said he's in traffic, but let's go. That means I'm going all through your car right now, bro. Shout out to Jay in traffic. Troy said NFK to the moon. What's going on, brother? Flip, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Amor already coming in with the chapter saying, I've been saving my funds for just times like this, and I still haven't bought in yet. Crip, you know what coin I'm waiting for? I honestly don't know. Which one are you waiting for, bro? I think you mentioned it yesterday. TJ, what's going on, bro? Twan is in the house. What's going on, brother? Manny, what up, Chris? In the red. And Troy saying we're going to end this week in the green. So let's see. Milady and NFK to the moon. I hear you. I'm right there with you. Manny. So let's just jump right into this, guys. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Make sure you guys hit those likes. Hit the likes. Hit them. Let's get this out to the algorithm gods so we can start bringing more and more people in here so they can start knowing about NFK and all our plays that we got going on. Let's jump right into this, guys. So today has been a day, right? It's been a day. You know, I told you guys yesterday on the stream. Let's just go back to yesterday, right? Yesterday's stream, and we're looking on the daily right now. You guys remember we came down and we bounced off this 60,152, and I told you guys, I said, listen, we're most likely going to come back down to that 60,150 area, somewhere around there. It needs to hold. Hence my thumbnail. That's the big area that we need to hold. And you guys can see, as of earlier, we were in the Discord, and I did that little Kermit the Frog where he's nervous. He's like sitting there. I sent that out. I was like, guys, are we holding this 60 or what? And we did break below the 60,000 briefly at around 59,900. But I will tell you, even though we did break below, it was very quick. It got eaten up fast. No diddy on that one. You guys can see that a lot of people were waiting for that dip, or a lot of people had, maybe they opened up leverage trading longs around that area, but we definitely saw the buys coming in, saving us from breaking down too further in towards the 59,000 area. So you guys can see that we did break below that 60,000 very briefly, but as of now, we have seen somewhat of a nice little retracement. I'm not going to say a bounce, but somewhat of a retracement. And let's pull up the actual zoom in, looking at the 30-minute. You guys can see this was yesterday. We cleanly bounced off that 60,150. And remember yesterday I was telling you guys, I was like, we have to hold this area. I was like, we're going to test it again. Most likely we have to freaking hold it, right? And you guys can see we did break today. We broke down, but look at this. It was a candle wick, right? Meaning it was very, very quick, very sudden. We dropped down to about that 59,970 area, and you can see since then we have found some support at that 60,150 area. Looks like as of now we formed two 30-minute candles breaking above for now, right? We are nowhere out of the woods at all. We're only at 60,700, so we can easily come back and retest this area for sure. And I'm telling you guys, we do not want to come back down and keep retesting this area. You guys already know. I say it all the time, right? If you keep retesting a certain area, whether it's going up or going down, it's going to freaking break, right? So with this being said, we don't want to keep testing this area because it's most likely going to break, and it's going to eventually flip over from support. You got it, over to resistance, right? So for right now, we're okay. You know, obviously we've had a downward move towards the downside again today. You know, I wasn't really sold on this move towards the upside whatsoever, but I did actually buy in on a project that I'm going to mention and let you guys I'll let you guys know. Yesterday, I'll give you a hint, we did a poll about it yesterday, right? So I did pick up something, but you guys are going to probably be disappointed in what I did for now, but we'll be all right. We'll talk about that in a little while. So let's see here. Amor said call took a nosedive off the deep end today. I know, bro. I saw you mentioned that in the stream, on the Discord, and I went and checked it out and was like, of course, right? Remember a week ago, I was like, I have all this freaking crow, and I was like, I'm going to just park it somewhere. I put it in freaking call at like 34, and this damn thing drops down like 20% a week later. You know, so I'm like, good God, bro. But you know what? I'm not even tripping because that's been sitting in that portfolio for like the last year, literally. So I'm just letting it, you know, I put it into call. It eventually will do something, right? Because I do believe call is going to do really well during the when we get into like the thick of altcoin season and stuff like that. So it just, you know, I would have preferred to have 20% more, you know, in my portfolio right now for the same liquidity. So another thing too that I am seeing as far as on the 30-minute chart, you guys can see red line 50-day moving average, green lines are 200-day. This is on the 30-day moving average, right? And you guys can see we pretty much, as we've been coming down the last couple days, you guys can see we've been running parallel with the 50-day. Obviously cannot break above the 50-day and stay above, right? We've had brief times where it looks like we're breaking above, and then we just come right back down and break below, right? And you can see that's pretty much been the trend for the last like couple days that we've been going in. And today, pretty much the same thing. We did see, you know, us run up to about 62,003, 62,004 today, and I was like, hey, you know what? We had a W pattern kind of forming. I was like, you know what? We might end up coming back up and maybe testing some of these areas. This is, I believe, this is the top of the channel that we have. Yeah, it's the top of the channel. I was like, we'll probably come back up and at least come back and retest the 63. 5 minutes later, I look at the chart and we basically started breaking down. I was like, you know what? We're probably not going to do that, right? You can just feel it right now. Unfortunately, you know, with things going on across the world, it's just a lot of uncertainty right now. It brought in a lot more fear, right? We are finally getting past all that fear, and it's just like it came right back after 2 weeks, not because of anything particularly going on in crypto, but because of what's going on across the world stage, across the United States with the ports. We covered it all today. We're not even going to get into it anymore as far as what's going on, but hopefully, you know, everything gets resolved across, you know, everything that's been affecting crypto, because I do think this is going to be short term. I do believe that this is all going to be short term, and hopefully, you know, as far as like Israel and Iran, they're finished with, you know, going back and forth. I think that's going to be a big mover as far as with the markets, because right now anything that has to do with war, unfortunately, especially if it's a close nation to the United States, you know, it's going to drive the markets down with uncertainty of a potential escalation with the United States and stuff like that. So it is what it is, right, guys? There's nothing we can necessarily do with any of that stuff. All we can do is take advantage of these dips if you're financially able to, right? And that's not financial advice. That's just my opinion on what I'm doing. So today, I did jump in. I jumped back in on Myro, guys. I know. You guys were telling me in the chat when we did the poll, everybody was saying, jump in on MILADY. And I was like, you know what? I couldn't pass picking up on some Myro today. I'm sorry. I did it. I did. I bought in somewhere. We dropped down around the 67, 68 area, pretty much not too far from where we're at right now. And I just picked up pretty much my bag that I sold. I picked it up for a fraction of the price, right? Because I told you guys I sold around 9 cents. So I was able to pick up, like, I don't even know what that was, right? It's probably like a 30% move in regards to, let me see, just roughly, yeah, about 30%. Roughly around there, about 30%. So I was able to get pretty much my same bag, saving 30% of the liquidity, you know, that I'm, you know, probably going to throw back into to Myro if it drops anymore, right? Because I do have goals for Myro particularly. I don't know what it is, but I just have this feeling with Myro. I don't know what it is. I'm telling you guys. I have a feeling that Myro is probably going to get close to $1. Right, in this next, like, this full-blown altcoin season. So I'm like, bro, if I can pick up Myro at 5-6 cents right now, and I'm talking about maybe accumulate up to like maybe 100,000, 150,000 Myro, bro, if this thing even gets close to $1, that's a move right there, right? So that's pretty much what I've been doing with Myro. I do still have plans to pick up that bag of MILADY. I really do. I'm just kind of waiting, and hopefully if the markets, I'm not saying hopefully, like, I'm not hoping that the markets crash or anything like that, but if the markets do come down, I will be taking advantage of even more projects as well. So Amor said, Crip has the same feeling for Myro I have for Mog, right? Listen, I know why you have the feeling for Mog, because Mog's been doing fantastic. It really has. Jay said he loves the volatility, though. These longs and shorts are playing out. Hell yeah. Jay, was that you that hit me up? Are you baby in the Discord? Because I know if that was you, I know you told me, someone told me that they're up. You guys have different names on YouTube versus the Discord, so it's like hard to keep track of everybody that's on there or whatever. But I know someone hit me up on the Discord. I'm pretty sure they're a member. They told me that they were up over 200% from opening up a short. And I was like, hell yeah, bro. I'm so happy when people, especially members, I knew it was you, Jay. All right, perfect. I'm so happy when people are members, right? Because we've covered all this during our members only streams about, leverage trading and just playing the markets, especially on times right now, if you don't really want to sell out of your positions, but you still want to make money, you can start, jumping in on leverage trading. I don't recommend it for everybody because obviously it's a beast as far as like you can easily lose a lot of money very fast. But I'm glad that Jay was able to take advantage of everything we spoke about and, do his thing. Cause that's all you, Jay. You're the one that opened up that leverage trade, but I'm happy. My boy said he was up 200% as of earlier on a short that he opened up for Bitcoin. So very, very happy about that, bro. I'm happy when all that stuff plays out for you. What in the hell is this? What is going on? I feel like I've been getting hacked lately. Bro, that was Myro's coin market cap. You guys see that? Who did that? Oh, man. All right, so let's jump in. One big thing that I wanted to cover today is what we always cover, but man, fear and greed index. Look at this, guys. We finally got back into the fear. We got back into the fear. You can look at this as two different ways, right? You can look at it as two different ways. Real quick disclaimer, Troy has been telling everybody in the Discord, he's been telling everybody to sell everything. Sell your house, sell your cars, sell everything other than like food and water so you can stay alive. But he wants you to sell everything and buy NFK with that. No FUD koala on Solana. So, I might end up taking Troy on and doing that and just selling everything around me, you know what I'm saying? Just keep doubling down on NFK, especially right now. It's such a great fucking price, excuse my language. But I don't know, bro. I mean, I can't sell my car. I love my car. All right, Troy? But yeah, jumping into this real quick, fear and greed index, we're down to 39, guys. Remember, we were literally on the brink 2 days ago of getting into greed. Finally getting into greed. The market was finally building up that confidence. Everything that we've been building for the last like 2 or 3 weeks, all gone, right? All gone in literally 2 days. But it's okay, right? Because what do I always tell you guys, right? I always say not financial advice, right? Because I have to say that. But historically speaking, anytime that you're buying in on extreme fear, it usually plays out really well. Obviously, you throw in patience on top of that, right? And you do fantastic, right? So for me personally, like I said, today I'm getting back into I told you guys I sold off on some things a few days ago. I just felt like the market was giving me those vibes, especially with the headlines about Israel and Iran and the ports, stuff like that. It gave me vibes where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna reposition myself. And I've learned, you talked to me a few years ago, and it was freaking hard for me to reposition, aka sell my positions, in hopes that the market is coming down, so I can just reposition myself a little better, right? Take advantage of these swings. You go back a year for myself, 2 years ago, I couldn't freaking go through with it, hitting that sell button, especially if I got in at a very good price, because I was like, bro, the market's gonna rally right when I sell. But I've learned to really trust my my charts and stuff like that, my chart reading and all that good stuff, and it's been playing out fairly well for the most part. So with that being said, now that we're getting into fear, and if we continue to move towards extreme fear, which I don't think we're going to get into extreme fear, but even if we start dabbling back down into the lower 30s and maybe even the 20s, good time, in my opinion, to be accumulating a lot of these projects, especially these alts, because we saw in the last few weeks how fast altcoins can absolutely rip, right? I mean, think about it. We were covering this, looking at the crypto bubbles. I'm going to fast forward over to the monthly, and even though we are down right now, right? Look at some of these alts that are still absolutely holding massive gains, right? Imagine we were looking at these, a few days ago before we even dropped, and some of these were up 200-300+%. They literally did all this in the last few weeks, right? We saw alts absolutely take off in the last few weeks, and we're going to see that happen again. We're going to see this eventually happen to where when we get into this altcoin season, these 200-300% are going to be nothing compared to what we're going to see, right? So with that being said, taking advantage of these dips right now, I'm honestly, like I said, I know you guys don't want to necessarily see the markets go down. I think this is going to be short term, right? So in my opinion, for myself, definitely been stacking up on some projects. Like I said, I did reposition myself on a lot of my stuff a few days ago. I didn't really announce it because I don't want to encourage you guys to follow suit necessarily, because if I make a wrong move, I would feel terrible if you guys were like, man, I ended up selling too, and now we're up, a 10x or something. Not really, but you know what I mean, right? So that's why I give you guys my opinion on here and stuff like that, but I kind of let you guys figure out what you're going to do for yourselves, because I don't want you guys to make rational decisions off of something that I'm doing, if that makes any sense, right? So Jay said it's NFK by Wednesday. It is, bro. Can you look at is that Wild or is that WorldCoin? I always freaking forget. What is that? Wormhole, right? Isn't that Wormhole or something? Let me see. No, this is WorldCoin. This is it right here. WorldCoin. I'm always thinking, I get WorldCoin, the abbreviation, confused with Wormhole all the time. Yeah, we'll pull up WorldCoin real quick here, brother. Ricky said, my fear and greed index is extremely high. You were flipping out a little earlier, right? I know you're playing around, but I know you bro, you're used to these drops, man. You're used to these drops. Just wanted to make sure I had the right chart here. So WorldCoin, obviously this is a fairly new project. Very big people behind this project, though, I will say that. So looking at the chart, let's pull up a fib retracement real quick for this. I hate that fib retracement, honestly. Hold on. A little better, but it is what it is. Let's see what the hell this market cap's looking at. So it's still under $1 billion. Not too bad, not too high, like a mid cap project. I will also say I was expecting this to be a little bit higher with everything that's going on. Not everything that's going on, but just everything behind this project, right? You have a lot of big developers, a big team behind this project. We did cover some news, what was it, last week or a few weeks ago, that they were doing something in multiple countries, right? Hence WorldCoin. So looking at the charts, you can see obviously this project did kind of did the same thing as every other project, right? All-time highs in March. Since then, it has been on a downward move, but I will say, since we've come down, you can see that obviously you see the trend coming down, but you can see we've kind of been chopping sideways in the last few weeks. And let's see here, I'll actually put my own little support level right here. You guys can see we've bounced off this level multiple times, somewhere around this dollar. What is this? $1.32 is probably, it looks like that's like the bottom where there's some support. So with that being said, nothing too much. I will say that this project, if this is long term, market cap is low. It seems to have some decent fundamentals behind it. I'm not real big on this project, but it has, like I keep saying, a lot of big dev teams behind it. So I think during the bull run, this project's going to do fairly well, and it's probably going to continue to get a lot of exposure because it seems like they're working and doing a lot of things on the back end worldwide for this project, right? So definitely, that could be a plus for it. So what I would say is anything around this 132 area, you can see you've had some massive support. Could be a big spot for some, just accumulation, in my opinion, as far as just dollar cost averaging in. Right now, even where it's at, not a bad time to be accumulating, because you can see as far as the charts, since we've been in March, right? Since even before, you go back to November of 2023, this project has been higher than where it's at right now, right? The whole time. So where you're at right now, you're getting some good buy-ins. And I would say if it continues to drop, that 132 is going to be a big spot for some support and a good spot for some accumulation. Obviously, your big spot that's going to be for some resistance is going to be a big spot from where we're at right now, the 786 at around the $3.32. But I would say before then, you're probably going to hit your head at a few different spots that the fib retracement's probably not giving us right now. And I will call them out real quickly around the $2.15, $2.17. You can see, obviously, you came up recently, hit your head on there. That's going to be a big spot for some resistance as well around there. So, but dope project. Think it's going to do really well. In my opinion, I wouldn't even really be worried about the charts right now. I just would be accumulating because you can see price action where it's at right now. You're getting some good, solid numbers where it's at right now. In market cap, like I keep saying, under $800 million for a project that calls itself the World Coin. You got to expect some higher market caps coming, right? So good luck with this project, brother. Let's see here. Ricky said market cap has a lot of room or more. Ricky said he's been buying. Is that Myro? You've been buying Myro and Maniki. L said not sure if people here follow KRC20 much. If you do, we all know Nacho is king. Another play to consider is KASPA. Will be listed this or next week on XT. Might be interest to load before. All right. And then Ricky said he can't spell tonight. I was going to say, what the hell is that? Miro? Is that a new project, bro? Miro? Is that Miro? So looking at the market cap and a lot of things up here on the top, Bitcoin's dominance. Holy shit. I didn't even realize that. Look at Bitcoin's dominance, guys. 56.8. Bitcoin's dominance makes sense, right? Altcoins, I mean, obviously Bitcoin's been bleeding too, but Bitcoin's been holding relatively strong. Like I said, we bounced off that 60,150 area. Alts have been bleeding a little bit more. Look at freaking Bitcoin's dominance, 56.8%. We're getting back up. Remember, so far for this season, our all-time high for Bitcoin dominance has been around 56.5%, somewhere around there, 56.4. So we are not far from these local highs of dominance that we've seen on this season since pretty much for the last few years of Bitcoin. So still relatively high for dominance on Bitcoin right now. Very, very high. Volume is down today about 19%, 18.67 to be exact, and our market cap has come down 1.17%. Everything right there that I just read across is what we don't want to see as far as us getting close to altcoin season, right? So with that being said, I think altcoin season has been a little bit prolonged, a little bit longer than what we were expecting because, I mean, you talked to me about a freaking few days ago, and I was like, bro, we might be in the middle of we might be getting close to altcoin season in the next few weeks. Well, then you see this. We were getting so close to getting into that, like, okay, we're there, we're getting there, you can't turn back now, to right before we get there, it's like, all right, October's here, let's go down. So it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. We'll be all right, though. We'll be fine. Something I wanted to cover, guys. Let's see here. Global liquidity is exploding. What this means for Bitcoin, inflation, and your crypto wallet. So I'm trying to give you guys some bullishness here. So hang tight. Let's read the article together. Let's at least get some bullishness during these days that were read. So with central banks around the world cutting interest rates and injecting stimulus, how can you position your portfolio to benefit from resulting increase in liquidity? So microeconomic triggers deepen. So the global liquidity is seeing a sharp increase as central banks around the world, particularly in China and the US, adopt policies aimed at pumping money into their economies. China recently announced a $143 billion stimulus package, which is driving strong economic momentum. On top of that, the People's Bank of China has mandated commercial banks to lower mortgage rates on existing home loans by at least 30 basis points below the loan prime rate by October the 31st, all to support its struggling property market. As a result, Chinese stocks have gone parabolic. In just the past 5 days, the Shanghai Composite Index surged 20% with an 8% jump recorded on a day alone on September the 30th. Damn, Chinese stocks are going crazy. I should have thought about that. I wouldn't buy in on any Chinese stocks because I don't know if you can in America. I don't know. But I would, I should have thought about that when we covered the article. First YouTuber to cover it. What was that, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, that China was about to pass that stimulus. Yep, that was here. We covered that. Should have freaking jumped in on some Chinese stocks like Alibaba or something, because I'm sure it's probably running. Let's see here, but it's not just China. On September the 18th, the U.S. Federal Reserve implemented an aggressive 50 basis point rate cut. And according to the CME FedWatch tool, the market now anticipates another 25% to 50 basis point cut in November. Let's pull that up. Actually, I keep forgetting that we have these freaking meetings. It's 35 days from now, but you can see we have nothing's really moved. We have 60% of the market saying that we're either going to see a pause or maybe a small 25% basis point. And then you have 37%, which is still a big chunk. 37% calling for either a 25 to a 50 basis point deduction in interest rates. So we'll see. And this is gonna fluctuate as we get closer. We have 35 days until this next meeting. I personally, as of right now, we're gonna have to see how we have unemployment numbers coming out on Friday, right? That's gonna be in 2 days from now. So that's another thing too that we need to keep an eye on, because, and we're gonna stream on Friday. That's gonna be on the 4th. We're gonna stream in the morning when those numbers come out live. But that's gonna be something that we need to pay attention to, because I told you guys this. We'll come back to this article. But with the unemployment numbers coming out on Friday, you guys remember, so non-farm payrolls, remember, we're forecast to have 140,000 jobs created. If we hit that 140 or higher, good, up. Lower, and we're talking maybe if it's at like 139, maybe it won't be too bad. But anything like 135,000 or below, bad for the market, right? And then unemployment rate, we're forecast to again come at 4.2%. You guys know my intake on all this. I think it's all skewed and not correct. I think that they're feeding us BS numbers, in my opinion. But regardless, if they want to give us those fake numbers and it benefits the market, we'll take advantage of it, right? So we're forecast to be at 4.2, which was previous at 4.2. If we hit 4.2 or lower, markets go up. If we hit 4.2 or high, if we hit 4.3 or higher, it could cause some very big volatility in the market. And the reason is because you're going to have recession fears coming back, right? You're going to have people, big investors, worried that we possibly could be seeing a recession that we're not going to be able to divert, right? So, and remember, when Jerome Powell spoke the other day, earlier this week, all he was talking about was the jobs, unemployment. That's what he was really talking about. No more inflation. Inflation, they seem to feel like they have it under wraps. It's more about unemployment and keeping that unemployment from spiraling out of control, right? So, with that being said, let's see here. We read up to here, and then so another 25, 50 basis point cuts in November. If this occurs, the federal funds rate could drop to a range of 4.25 to 4.5, 4.5, or 4.5 to 4.75%. Moreover, since the Federal Open Market Committee meeting in September the 18th, crypto assets have outperformed many traditional assets. The increasing liquidity, both in the US and China, could likely boost investors' appetite for riskier investments like crypto in the near future. So, with that being said, guys, like I keep telling you, what we're seeing right now in the markets, it's because of we have global conflicts. We have, stuff going on that's scaring the supply chain in the States with the ports. All this is going to pass, most likely. I say most likely, right? There's always that chance that it could get worse, so I don't want to say that it's going to, but hopefully all this passes. It should, hopefully they come to some kind of resolution with the ports, stuff like that. And with all that, hopefully it happens, right? I keep saying hopefully because obviously it's out of our hands, but hopefully all that happens. It could be in the next week. All that's brushed away. whatever the case is, and we're back up and running, right? And you guys can see we're reading stuff that, like I said just a week ago, everything, all the indicators are pointing towards the upside, right? We can't, we can't predict, but there's nothing we can do about, the global unrest and the potential of, some kind of wars or whatever's going on across the world. So that's the stuff that we just can't, if it happens, it happens. It kind of will throw us a wrench, like I said in the Discord. It throws a wrench on what we have going on right now. But if all that dries up, all that clears up as soon as possible, we're back up and running, because everything that we've been talking about for the last few weeks, everything that we just talked about the Feds reducing 50 basis points, China with their stimulus, all this other stuff that we have going on is all still here, and it's here to stay, and we're going to continue to move towards the upside regardless, right? So this is just a little hiccup, a little speed bump, but I don't know about you guys, but like I said, I'm taking advantage of all this volatility, and I'm definitely stacking up on my some of the projects that I definitely want to take advantage of and get a lot more. So finishing off, you can see global liquidity on the rise. When it comes to understanding Bitcoin's price movement, global liquidity stands out as one of the strongest indicators. Global liquidity, or M2 supply, refers to the money that is readily available, such as cash and bank deposits. When central banks loosen their policies by cutting interest rates or injecting stimulus into the economy, they increase the amount of money flowing through the system. Over the years, Bitcoin has shown a strong correlation with liquidity, meaning that when the global money supply grows, Bitcoin price tends to rise. Conversely, when liquidity contracts, meaning when liquidity comes out of the economy, right, Bitcoin performance often flatters. According to the study by Lynn Alden, Investment Strategies, Bitcoin's correlation with global liquidity from May 2013 to July 2024 was an impressive 0.94. A correlation of 1.0 would indicate perfect alignment. So 0.94 is extremely high. And this kind of makes sense, because think about it. When we were in 2021, remember, they were just, or 2020 technically started, they started just giving out massive stimulus checks, right? And what did we see? Obviously, we saw the markets absolutely rip, right? We saw a lot of that money going into Bitcoin and risk assets. And that, I'm just using that analogy because they pumped a lot of money, right? Global liquidity went up by the trillions, because we literally we gave out, like, I think multiple trillions, if I'm not mistaken. And you saw Bitcoin react positively on that. So what they're saying is, across the world, even though it's not maybe United States right now, pumping a bunch of money into the economy via stimulus checks, you have China doing that, right? And you have other countries that are on the same boat as far as propping up their economies by pumping liquidity into their economies. And what they're saying is, as a global, right, Bitcoin tends to do really well when there's money getting injected into the world stage. So, and they just give us a bunch of charts kind of showing us as far as everything with the money getting pumped into the system and how Bitcoin reacts. So I won't bore you anymore, guys, with that. Excuse me. Forgot I had a drink here. What's Bitcoin doing right now? Looks like we're going to come back down and most likely retest this area, guys. I don't think it's over with, guys. Now, someone asked me, they were like, Crip, it was actually Jay, was asking me, because he's over here making all this money on shorts. He's like, when is the next spot for some support if we do break? So remember, I don't have it on this chart, but the 60,100 is a big spot for some support. We have it on the other I guess I'll put it on here too. We have it on the other chart. I'm trying to use this chart as our support and resistance, and then the other chart, I'm trying to keep it clean. So, all right. So we have the next spot for some support If we do break this 60,100 area and we stay down below it, the 60,000 is going to be around 59,500 is our next big spot for some support. So mark it down on your charts. Excuse me, mark it down on your charts, because that's could be where we're headed. Amor said they can try to postpone altcoin season, but they can't stop it. Exactly. That's what I was pretty much saying. You know, we might have postponed it and kicked it down the road a little bit, but it's definitely inevitable. It's going to be coming. So I didn't even realize on this. Remember, I told you this was like days ago. I was like, we got to hold this. This is our cushion right here. When we were kind of in these areas, look at this. We broke below, but look, we came back and retested the bottom of this cushion area. And pretty much that was an indicator that we were headed towards the downside. Gina, what's going on? What is going on, girl? XRP's down. Holy crap. Look at XRP. Down 11% today. Holy shit. That's crazy. I say that's crazy because XRP's got a big market cap. For it to be down 11%, that's crazy right there. XRP's getting its ass handed to. What's going on with MILADY, guys? Let's check it out. I need to alright, when MILADY gets to this level, I'm like, I have to buy in, right? Let me pull up the market cap on MILADY. I always like to keep an eye on that. So MILADY right now, $53 million market cap. Freaking so small. Absolutely so small. What's MOG doing right now? So I know Gina's going to ask. Look at MOG. MOG found some support at the 0.5. It came down. Look at this. It actually broke. You can see it has support at the 0.5, but look where it almost exactly bounced at a support level that we actually have at the 12 right here. This 12.3. But doesn't look bad, honestly. Still holding a lot of its gains that it was able to generate in the last few days, last week or two. Well, this is this is in the last 3 weeks. It definitely has been holding still holding some serious gains, but obviously it's not going to withstand the market right now while it's coming down. So not too bad, holding pretty good. Troy said, "What does Bitcoin's dominance look like?" Let me see here. We had it up earlier. Bitcoin's dominance is at 56.8%, bro. Very high right now. Very, very high. Like I said, I read this across 56.8 dominance. Volume is down 20% for the market, and the market cap is down 1.4%. Everything all that, not good for altcoin season. Not good. Not good. But, like I keep saying, you can look at it two different ways. I'm looking at it as, you know what? We're back in fear. I'm taking advantage of everybody's fear. Not you guys, but, other people's fear. Looking at the 24-hour, Flare is the best performance on performing top 100. Wormhole's up 9% in 24 hours. Conflux, Sui up 1%. Mantra 1%. What is Ton at right now? I swear, if Ton gets to a certain level, I'm telling you, I'm gonna go against everybody. I'm gonna be accumulating like crazy. He's still at $5. I heard Ton is going to be struggling because I didn't realize freaking Telegram, right? Ton's so connected with Telegram. Well, remember, we read that article a couple days ago about Hamster, right? So I guess Hamster, a lot of people that have been smashing that Hamster, no diddy on that one, are freaking pissed because they've been sitting there accumulating like crazy. And yeah, hamster's price basically hasn't been doing much. Is this hamster though? Why does this look better than the other hamster charts we've been pulling up? That's definitely not it. That's what I thought. It's down 51% since it dropped. Right. So what I'm getting to is a lot of people are they're not playing hamster now, right? And I guess this was bringing in a lot of money coming into Tron, believe it or not, because it was hamsters like the #1 game on Telegram. Telegram's so connected with Ton, so I'm hearing that Ton might be having some struggles until they can kind of figure out what's going on with hamster and stuff like that. Jasmy, what's going on, brother? Amor said there's a bunch of Reddit whales talking about how alt season is coming in March. So at this point, buying and selling is still a thing to do. I mean, if they have a crystal ball and that's correct, that's one thing, right? But you got to be careful. I'm not saying that they don't know what they're talking about whatsoever. I'm just saying you have to be careful. You're reading a Reddit post, right? It could be anybody. So Gina said she picked up more Mog and Win. Nice. Oh, look at that, Gina. Came down and pretty much looks like it's trying to find that support at that level that we have at around the 93. It's at 97 right now. Not too bad. Not too bad. Amor, have patience, bro. He said he's about to drop his whole bag on Mog. Dude, don't be obviously not financial advice, but don't be setting yourself up, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go easy, take it easy, slow dollar cost averaging. Just slowly accumulate. Not financial advice. But I don't want you in here flipping out if you buy in and then Mog ends up coming down to some of these levels. I don't see that happening. I'm just saying. Right now, anything can happen with the market. I mean, if you think about it right now, think about it. We just came off of we were at what, 50, about 52,005, and then before that we dropped all the way down to 49.5, right? So I mean, we could easily, we're nowhere out of the out of the woods with any of this stuff right now. If anything, like I told you guys yesterday, right? If anything, this bull flag is still in play, and we just basically did what we've done already a few times where we've broken out briefly and we're coming back in. We could easily come back and retest the bottom of this channel somewhere around this 51.6, 51.7 area easily, right? And think about it. The alts have kind of been hit fairly, pretty rough. No diddy on that one in the last, few days. If Bitcoin drops down to 51 anything, you're going to see alts bleed out like crazy, probably 20, 30% on some alts, right? So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Take it easy, slowly but surely, right? Hopefully we're going to, right now, that's the bottom of the channel is not in play because we're holding this support level fairly well. But you can see we've bounced off of this plenty of times, right? Only to break below it plenty of times as well. So with that being said, like for myself, just slowly dollar cost averaging in on some of these projects. I don't want to go too crazy because if we do drop down, even if we don't come all the way down to the channel, but we come down briefly to some of these levels like 55, maybe even 56, somewhere around those areas, alts are going to obviously come down 10+% from where we're at right now, if not more. So Gina said, do you think it's going to come down more on ORDI? I don't know, but I hope it does. I freaking hope. I want ordinals to come back down into the 20s. you can see I did this trend line earlier, right? And this is from when we dropped down to $20. This was back at the beginning of August. Look at this. We've been literally respecting this trend line, and this trend was here before we dropped down earlier. And I was like, that son of a beep, it's gonna drop down and bounce at that damn trend line. And then look at it. It literally bounced right on the trend line at $31.35. So kind of waiting. I wouldn't be mad if Ordis can maybe throw me a bone and maybe come back down to these 25, 20. Remember, my buy zone for right now, I might have to move it around a little bit, but it's still around that $26, $26.50, somewhere around there is my buy zone for ordinals. So maybe not 20. You wouldn't be ecstatic if we dropped down to 20, Gina, briefly. Bro, I would be so happy if we dropped down. I would pick up hundreds of ordinals. I would, but I mean, honestly, ordinals is holding pretty freaking well. I mean, we did just come off of $42, so if you think about it, where are we at? We're down about, we're down from that local high about 27%. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go down to that level either. If we're talking about $20 ordinals, we're talking about probably a $50,000 Bitcoin or maybe even lower, because ordinals holds pretty well. It really does. It holds pretty well. So people don't like selling their ordinals because there's not a lot in supply. There really isn't. So, but with that being said, guys, like I said, point of the story is we need to hold this 60,150 area, same as yesterday, right? You can see we bounced off it twice. We do not want to keep retesting this area. We don't want to keep retesting this area whatsoever. If we do, we're eventually going to break below, and this might end up turning into resistance. For right now, we've retested it twice, and it's basically been some support. It's not going to be the same story if we just keep coming and retesting the same area. So we need to hold. We need to stay above this 60,150 area, and we'll be fine, right? Hopefully everything else that's going on in the world will blow over in the next few days, and we'll be back up on track. If it doesn't, like I said, pulling up the other chart, the next level that we're looking for, if we do break this support level that we have right here at the 60,150 area, somewhere around there, the next spot for some support is going to be the 59.5 area. That's going to be our next spot for some big support that we need to hold. So Flip said, yo, I just got back. What did I miss? Bro, you're going to have to rewind the whole video and see that, bro. You have to rewind the whole video and catch up. What's Solana doing? Let me pull up our beloved Solana. We're at 140. We dropped down to 138. Not too bad. Not too bad. Solana kind of getting back into this channel as well. It's a little bit more sloppier, but Solana is technically has been trading, even though it's been breaking a little bit below and a little bit above. It's still been kind of respecting this channel as well. And you can see if I do pull this channel, we pretty much have fallen right back into the channel. Kind of the same thing, same scenario as Bitcoin. So, yep, Gina, today is Wednesday buy NFK. Unfortunately, every buy we've been getting in, it keeps bringing the price down because Solana is continuing to drop down. So it stinks. But don't worry. Once we start running everything that we're adding into the pot right now, into our liquidity, into our market cap, it will, once Solana starts running back up, it'll take, watch, you'll see a couple buy-ins, and we're going to be up 10, 20, 30% on NFK. Days like this got me drinking, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna have any drinks this week until the weekend. And then I'm like, you know what, give me another round, bartender. Is this everybody in Bitcoin right now? Wife, relax, babe. Bitcoin's still around 60K. Look at this. This is all of us knowing that our portfolio is 90% in alts. 90. Try like 99. Which one of you guys? That's one of you guys in the chat right now. I know it. Let's go check out Crypto Ash real quick. Or Ash Crypto, I'm sorry. So he's pretty much calling the same thing, a little bit lower support level, but he's saying Bitcoin. Oh, he said Bitcoin just hit 60,080. This was earlier. I thought he was saying his holding. Early bears who are celebrating now will cry at the end of October. Save this post. Oof. My boy's calling it. Alt season update. Alt season market cap just did a retest. Let's see here. So this right here is the chart for the all of the altcoins minus Bitcoin, right? And you guys can see, obviously, March we hit highs, not all-time highs, but we did hit local highs, right? And you can see since March, obviously, we have come down, but we did break out of the trend, which we covered this like a week ago on this chart. And you can see basically what he's charting out is that we have a trend that we just bounced off of. For this is the capitalization of all alts and in the crypto space, right? This is everything minus Bitcoin. So you guys can see we obviously broke out of the trend, and we're still technically above the trend line for right now, holding at around what is this? We found some support around 200 billion. And you can see right now we're around 215 billion as of this post, which was a few hours earlier. So, you know, you guys can see, you know, we're perfectly fine. This is without Bitcoin and Ethereum, actually, with only 215 billion. Obviously, Ethereum's market cap is a lot higher alone on that. So, altcoin season has just been you know, paused for right now, but we're gonna be there. We're gonna be there eventually. Financial advisor, don't put more than 5% in your net worth in crypto. Me, 99.9% all in. You got to risk it for the biscuit, right? We haven't said that in a while on the channel. You got to risk it for the biscuit, right? We're not in here. I'm not in here to make a few $100s or a few thousand. Bro, I'm trying to get some millions. Gina said she's making a carrot cake. That's why I miss of the live stream. No, Gina, that's why you're the mama bear of the damn channel and of the Discord. She's over there baking cakes and stuff, guys. That's what I like to see. Make sure you, when you bake the cake, take a picture of it, Gina, for real, and post it in the Discord so you can at least look at the cake. You know, since we're not going to be able to try it. Even though I'm not a big carrot cake person, particularly, you know, I would probably try it if you had it, right? You can't say no to a fresh baked cake. So, but with that being said, guys, shorter stream today. I'm going to let you guys go. Remember, obviously, we want to hold this level right here around the 60,150 area. For right now, we are holding, but if we keep retesting that area, we are going to break it. We're going to break it to the downside. The next support level, 59.5. So make sure you guys put that on your charts. Until then, guys, that's pretty much it. I thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a fantastic night. Be safe out there. Keep your heads up. If we do see more dips, take advantage of it, guys. Take advantage of it if you're able to. Not financial advice, because this is all going to blow over. And just like we always say, you're going to be looking back and be like, damn it, should have picked up more, right? Even if you're just swing trading, you know, you're swing trading these swings right now, potentially a good time to be accumulating. So Troy said that's his favorite. Nice. Oh, flip too. Everybody likes that carrot cake. All right. Sheesh. My bad. All right, guys. Have a fantastic night. Hit me up in the Discord. Gina, post that picture. We're all waiting for that picture. Have a great night, guys, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. All right, guys.